I may have lived alone much of the time since my parents both worked, but that's just something else entirely. Sorry for making you listen to my moaning, Hisao. I don't mind at all, but do you mind if I ask why you're telling me all this? You always were curious. Context, I suppose. Life isn't a fairy tale, Hisao. Some people have to learn that the hard way. Yeah, I learnt that the hard way. In college. She takes a long drink from the can in her hand, her face becoming more depressed than distant. I broke up with my boyfriend a few days ago. After I leave, we're not going to be able to see each other again. But that's how life is. You can't just say, oh God, you've just clicked my mind. Let's go back to what she said there. I broke up with my boyfriend a few days ago. After I leave, we're not going to be able to see each other again. You know what this means? Oh God. Oh no. Lily's gonna do the same thing. You just set your life up and expect it to stay that way forever. Sometimes stuff happens that you have to roll with, even if it means hurting yourself or others. Yep. Oh God. She takes a long breath before looking up at the bright orange sky. Damn, if I smoked, I could take a nice long drag right about now and look kinda cool. I want to respond to help her in whatever way I can, but I feel utterly useless. This kind of situation is one I've never been in, and I simply don't have the experience to say anything meaningful to comfort her. You haven't clicked yet, have you, Hisao? Akira looks over and evidently picks up on this, much to my embarrassment. I must look pretty pathetic right now, whining about this to someone I barely know. Hardly, and I'm pretty much an expert on looking pathetic. She gives a chuckle, the act feeling like a personal victory for me. You're a good kid, Hisao. When I said that I approved of you being with my sister, I wasn't joking or just being nice. She picks herself up off the seat with a grunt, one that seems ill-fitting given her age, and throws the now empty can into the bin after one last swig. It's just unfortunate that doesn't really count for much in this world. When I said that I was leaving for Scotland, I was doing it because a good position opened up in our company's headquarters. When our folks told me that when we were at their place, though, they also gave Lilly a summons to rejoin them in Inverness. Yep. Oh, shit. Yep, I'm definitely feeling all those feelings again from last night. This is no different. No way. This path is extremely emotional, at least it is for me. Her evasiveness when asked about her future, that awkwardness that had steadily grown between us, that uncharacteristic outburst of anger, all of them suddenly fit into place. God, I can feel myself swelling up already. Not swelling up, sorry, welling up. The same family that she reminisced about after Hanako's birthday party, the same family that left her and Akira to themselves after taking flight to greener pastures. Now I feel stupid for never cornering Lilly on what was bugging her. I'd never even considered if something had happened during her trip to her family's home at Inverness. And now a sense of unease grows in my chest. If her family has summoned her to join them in Scotland, all the way on the other side of the earth, has she accepted? God, this sucks. Lilly hasn't told me whether she plans to accept, and it seems she hasn't told you either. That's why I called you down here to talk this out. Context, huh? Yeah. I sit back, my feelings of worry and frustration no doubt written all over my face. How does this game make you feel so bad? Horrible right now. Lily's a strong person herself, but she's not infallible. I guess it's my job to worry about her, being her older sister, but I think that you deserve to know. I You sound depressed. Well, I am depressed. My girlfriend's going to be leaving me to go back to Inverness with her family. No, I'm just thinking. That's a huge lie, Hisao. That's good. Thinking is good. Being rash won't get you anywhere. She looks at her watch, barely moving her wrist. I've got to go. Will you be okay? I'll be fine, don't worry. You tell a lot of people, Hisao, that you're fine, but in truthfulness, you really are not fine. Majority of the times that people ask you, and that's what you say. You are not fine. I'll have to talk to Lilly about it and get everything sorted out. She gives a smile, but it doesn't feel all that genuine or sincere. Jesus, this music is horrible. It is making me feel fucking useless. Really, both of us are dancing around the fact that Lily's on the precipice of the biggest decision of her life and is trying to take the entire burden on herself. And part of that burden is the matter of our relationship. By the time I look up, Akira's already walking off with her hand held up. For the first time in a long while, I finally have an answer to something. Perhaps not even that, but at least now I have the right question to ask. Will you leave or stay? Oh, well. I can definitely tell you that the fact that I've already played through this part does not dismiss the fact that my feelings are gone. Goddamn. I know the feels. Hurry, Lilly! I'm moving as fast as I can. I can barely make out Lily's voice over the deafening pounding of the rain. Even though I dislike pulling her around, the situation calls for it. I turn forward, my free hand over my head in a futile attempt to keep at least my gear dry. My vision seems to be in grayscale. This really is rotten weather for summer, and the last kind of climate I want for a date. Oh, that's right, you were going for a date. Oh, yeah, you picked a just splendid day for a date, Hisao. God damn. A pity. I'd even checked the weather forecast beforehand. One of the very few times I've ever done so. Only for it to say that Sunday afternoon would be fine. Then you check your watch again and realise it's Saturday. Looking to Lilly, her shoulders are by now completely drenched, with her right hand holding tightly to mine, and her left gripping her retracted cane. This horrid downpour came on just as we were between our destination and Yamaku, so we decided to try rushing the rest of the distance rather than doubling back. Entirely unused to running this fast, Lily's using all her concentration just to avoid tripping over. Hisao, do you know where we're going? Even she's reduced to shouting and try to be heard over the combined noise of the wind and the rain. The rest of my voice is completely drowned out by an even heavier burst of rain. What? Oh, I've just lost Lily's voice. What? The Shanghai! I'm sorry if that was loud. That was very loud. I really hope none of you are using headphones, because that must have hurt. How far is it? It shouldn't be far now! I swear I shouldn't have to yell that loud if she's right beside me. It doesn't take long before I call out to her once again. It looks like we're safe. It's just up ahead. I quickly pull up to a stop in front of the familiar exterior, the lantern outside still giving off its reliable glow, and wait for Lily to catch her breath before going in. It seems as if that scream I just did before has woken me up a little bit, so I'm glad. Ladies first. The tiny bell inside rings out when I hold the door open for her. A smile and a polite nod being my reward for being blah before entering myself. Oh, thank God we're inside. As I step in behind her and wipe my feet, only a quick glance is necessary to notice the distinct lack of activity. Shanghai doesn't seem to get much in the way of patronage, and today is no different. Only a couple of tables are occupied. Summoned by the bells ringing, a most expected person comes to greet us. Yuko, I'm guessing. Yep. Welcome to the Shanghai. Yuko looks chipper today. Trying to predict her moods is pretty hard, but it's a nice change from the norm. Hello, Yuko. Hey. Good afternoon, you two. She takes a deep bow, somewhat taken aback as she rights herself again and gets a better look at us. What happened to you two? You both look... Her eyes drifted towards the glass of the door behind us. Oh dear. We're inside now. At least, I think that's the most important thing. It's nice and cozy. You're lucky to be working inside today. It has been nice and quiet. I like days like this. Oh wait, sorry. Is there anything you'd like? French vanilla tea, please. Ooh, that actually sounds quite delicious. I think I'll have the same. Oh, what do you know? I'll have the same. Right, coming right up. Oh, I just did Lily's voice for Yuko. God damn it. She quickly skitters off with a determined look on her face, trying very hard not to forget our orders. If nothing else, she is at least dedicated to her jobs. I lead Lily to an empty seat before the two of us settle down. As usual, there's a large difference between my exhausted flopping down into my seat and Lily's delicate sliding into hers, her cane set beside her. For a while I just idly watch the rain falling outside. The occasional person runs down the street trying to stay as dry as possible, hands often tightly gripping a rain-soaked umbrella. I kinda wanna go to Scotland, you know? Maybe Inverness. Try and find a Lily for myself. Maybe not. Lily sits just as quietly as I, her eyes closed as she intently listens to all that's happening. It's a comfortable, relaxing silence that exists between us, just the type that we'd so often shared together in the past months. For Lily, at least. I can't help replaying the words of her sister in my mind, at times contrasting them to both our time spent together since I entered Yamaku, and to the way we've been since we started dating. I'm quite hungry. I didn't have breakfast. This was a dumb idea. No matter how much I try, I can't work Lily out. It's as if the harder I try to second guess her emotions and her potential decision, the more difficult it becomes to reach a clear conclusion. It takes me doubt whether I'd even really understood her in the end. I'm going to have to ask, even though I very much want to avoid doing so. You seem quiet today, Hisao. Really? You seem so enthusiastic about taking me out on a date. I'd assumed you had something specific you wanted to do. Oh, right, so taking you to the Shanghai was a shit idea then. Clearly you're not enjoying it. You wanted something specific. But no, I just took you to the Shanghai. You know, the least you could do, Hisao, since she's so upset, is pay for the meal. Since you didn't last time. No, not really. Just wanted to spend some time with you. Is that so? Fine, there was one thing. A little grin finds its way onto Lily's face, her knowing full well that she's bested me. It makes what I want to say all the more awkward. It was just Akira and I were talking. Oh? What's with that tone? You two do seem to get on well, don't you? Yeah, she's my bit on the side when you don't want to get it on. Well, I do think she's a pretty cool person to talk with. It'd be nice if any of the teachers were anything like her. Cool. For a moment I try to place her tone of voice, my mouth curling into a smirk as I realise it. You're not jealous, are you? I'm not jealous. After her teasing me over such a thing on our first date, I don't feel too bad having a little laugh at her expense this time round. As we settle down though, it's only a minor distraction from the real point of why I brought Lily here. I actually brought you here for an intervention. Don't worry, it was mostly just everyday stuff. That said, there was something Akira mentioned that I wanted to talk to you about. When you went to see your family in Inverness a while back, she said... Akira told you about my family's summons, hasn't she? Seconds tick by while I try to read Lily's face, an odd mixture of feelings written on it. She seems annoyed, but also somewhat confused. Here. Yeah, thanks, Yuko. To be honest, this really is not the time. I think you should really just put the food down and just leave, because if you have any sense of acknowledgement by looking at our faces, you can tell we're having a bit of a moment, so please just place the tea down and just move on. Go to someone else, please. Yuko tentatively slides our drinks onto the table, her presence oddly small. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Yuko. Thank you for listening to me. As she walks back to the counter after a quick polite nod, I realise the air between me and Lily is thick, and our expressions are both somewhat pensive. Even though she says I should lead my own life, she still interferes at the worst times. I don't think she was really interfering, she was just trying to help, as she always has tried to. I don't think you should blame Akira here, she's just looking out for you, and it's not like I can't understand her concern over this. See? Lily's irritation gives way to an awkward and largely unsuccessful attempt to mask her feelings. She really doesn't deal well with being cornered on personal topics. I know, but I just wanted some more time. I knew you'd have figured it out eventually, but... You were intentionally hiding this from me? For how long were you planning to do so? As I said, I simply wanted more time to think it through. I wanted to be sure of my decision before telling you. What did you decide to do in the end? I know what I want to hear her say, but an awful feeling refuses to leave my gut. God. My family does dearly want me to return to them, and I care what I'm going as well. I can still teach as a career, whether it be here or there. Yep, so she's leaving. So you're going. How long have you known? I already knew you were asked when you first went to Scotland about a month ago. Couple of feels. My frustration very nearly boils over. The fact that she's done this affects me more than it should. For her not to only be leaving but to have been actively hiding her own plans from me, after seeming for so long to be the one solid pillar of support and reliability I could depend on. It feels as if the foundation underneath me is suddenly shifting drastically, much faster than I can adapt to. Perhaps this isn't so much frustration as sheer unease. Lily, I'm sorry, I wanted to think this through completely. I wasn't trying to take advantage of you, please. I know, Lily, I know. This is just really subtle. Sorry. I guess this means that once you go, we'll be breaking up. For one of the few times I've seen since I met her, she's genuinely lost for words. She doesn't look surprised, no doubt because the fact had dawned on her once she became sure of her decision, but rather she appears genuinely unsure of how to deal with the situation now that it's in front of her. We could try pursuing a long-distance relationship. They're getting more and more common these days after all. Even as she says it, the tone of her voice gives away that she doesn't truly believe what she's saying. Lily is far too old-fashioned to be able to cope with a relationship without any kind of physical presence, and even I am, to an extent. All we could ever to be to each other would be a voice from the other side of the world. Yeah, trust me. I know from personal experience that long-distance relationships do not work. So if you're thinking of trying one, don't try it. You'll end up just getting hurt. You end up both just sort of doubting each other in the relationship, and you become paranoid that the other person is sleeping around, and it's no good, because you don't know what they're doing on the other end of the phone. All you have is either, you know, phone contact or a Skype call every now and then with them. You have no physical contact with the person, so it's, yeah. In the end, trying to rationalize everything is futile. Any attempts to try and connect what's happening with the future or past just seem to get more difficult the more I concentrate. Those quiet moments when we just walked side by side, the precious time we spent with Hanako and Akira, the casual chatter we had during lunch times, the times we made love, the confessions of our feelings to each other. All pointless. All just a fleeting moment in our young lives. We're just two children pretending to be adults, aren't we? Alright, I'm back. Sorry, I just had someone come to the door, so I had to answer it. Let's continue. We're just two children pretending to be adults, aren't we? A long, long silence hangs in the air between us. The noise of the other patrons drinking and talking only makes the situation feel more strange and disconnected. Yeah, I feel this would be a topic better suited to being alone. Although if that was the case, I may end up actually arguing with her, and that would not be a good idea at all. Maybe being around other people would be a good idea because it's a controlled environment, and I'm less likely to, you know, have an outburst with her. Lily's face remains low, her dejected expression clouding it. I'm sorry, Hisao. A simple apology and no more. She's left entirely without any further response or comment. With a long sigh, I gather what's left of my thoughts and ask the final question I have for her. When will you be going? I'll be leaving with Akira, so it'll be little less than a week. A week? Oh god. Beginning of summer holidays? Just a little afterwards, yes. Her tone is unusually slow and steady, her apologetic and depressed mood all the more written to her face as she tries to hide it in her voice. In the end, I can't even keep my promise of going to Tanabata with her before she leaves. I look down, seeing my face reflected in the by now lukewarm cup of neglected tea sitting in front of me. I really thought I'd left this kind of expression behind. For a while I just stare down into the still surface, trying to sort through my emotions to get at what course of action I should take, whether it be right now or in the future. But just as before, the effort is wasted. I glance up to see Lilly gently sipping her cold tea without complaint, her face drawn and shoulders slumped. She looks to be deep in thought too, and probably pretty depressed just like I am, because she's leaving her newfound boyfriend, and I'm leaving my newfound girlfriend. Well, my newfound girlfriend is leaving me. She looks to be deep in thought too, a strangely cold atmosphere coming between us as we isolate ourselves to mull things over. Even as Lily's cup slowly empties, mine remains untouched. It's a long time before I notice the rain dying down outside and a few other patrons of the Shanghai having left. This is the worst music of this entire game. I really hate this music. The chill of the rapidly darkening evening permeates the dormitory hallways. I don't actually hate the music, I just hate the way it feels. It makes you feel all sad and depressed. I guess that's what it's meant to do, but... While trudging down the corridor to my room, I see an unwelcome movement from up ahead. Oh... No, Kenji, this is not the time. Please, man. Sure enough, the opening of the door opposite mine heralds the arrival of bespectacled Kenji. Hey man, what's... Whoa, dude, you look awful, I think. You okay? He really has a knack for making any situation better. I don't really want to go into it, it's late. Okay, that's cool. If you ever want to talk about it, I'm, you know, here. I look at him for a moment before surrendering my stern front and awkwardly scratching the back of my neck, embarrassed by my standoffish response to him. Thanks, Kenji. Hey, it's cool. It's what friends are for, right? Yeah, you're right. See ya. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This one time, finally, Kenji actually does something that's helpful and just leaves me be. This is not the time for him to be fucking around with his feminist agenda shit. I open the door to my own dorm room and close it behind me as he quickly waves me off. The solid thud the door makes against the door frame sounds out a final call for the life I've led since coming to Yamaku. I just stand in my darkened room, fruitlessly attempting to work out what I should do from this point onwards. Just what should I do? I remember from last night I really hated this part. I won't say anything because obviously I'll spoil it, but actually I'll probably spoil it for myself, to be honest, if I do that. I want to feel the same feels. As class ends, I simply rest my head on my hand and stare out of the window to pass the time. It's been a few days since Lilly told me her plans. I haven't been to our ordinary lunchtime haunt since then, and not that there would be much point. Hanako's been busy with the newspaper club she's newly joined, and has even begun talking in class with Naomi every now and then. Even Lilly, aside from the fact that a meeting between us would have been awkward in any case, has been run off her feet with class representative duties as the summer holidays approach. So we've completely ignored each other. Boyfriend and girlfriend have completely ignored each other the entire time. Although, to be honest, it is a pretty awkward situation at the moment. And now they're just about here. With the end of today's bell, the summer holidays will have begun. Oh god. I suppose that all I'll end up doing will be visiting my parents for the duration and lazing about my old home, now that my previous plans are entirely askew. Meanwhile, Akira and Lilly will be en route to Scotland to live out the rest of their lives there. Maybe I should move to Scotland with them. No, I can't do that. I would no way survive. I mean, the fact that I'm Japanese, not me, but Hisao, going to an English-speaking country, I would not do very well. Even though I have Lilly as an English teacher, no, I still wouldn't do very well. No matter how hard I try to rationalise the idea that once the summer holidays begin, my life will return to the way it was, it simply refuses to happen. Everyone's moving on with their lives. Lily's rejoining her family, Akira's moving up in her father's business, Hanako's gaining new friends and hobbies, and even Yuko's moving ahead with her university aspirations. But me, I've just gone into a slump. My girlfriend's just left me, she's going to a completely different country across the other side of the world, and everything else is just shit for me. Even I'm moving forward in the end. Oh well, okay, if you want to think positive, Hisao, go for it, but I'm not at all being positive right now. With the marks I've gotten so far in Yamaku, much less after such a rocky beginning, the path to get into teaching science as a career seems straightforward. I suppose I should be at least happy about that much, but it doesn't really seem to help. Hachan! Oh god. I quickly stopped my ruminating and turned to face the bubbly voice beside me, putting on the most upbeat expression I can muster. As expected, Shizune stands flanking her. I have a sneaking suspicion they want something from me. It's the school holidays, right? And you still want me to join the student council. Jesus Christ. These women are relentless. Hey Misha, Shizune, what's up? Well, Chichan and I were thinking, since we're just two poor little girls that need help with all the work we've been given just before the holidays begin, sure I can help. Wait, what? But Hachan, we really need... What? I think I broke Misha. Misha? 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 Hello? Yep, no, I definitely broke her. Even Shizune raises an eyebrow at her accomplice's shuddering stop in her tracks. So you'll help us, Chan? I just said I would, didn't I? It's hardly like I have anything better to do. Maybe helping them will work their... Oh my god. Maybe helping them with their work will help take my mind off the situation. I highly doubt that, but you can give it a try, buddy. Everything's worth a shot. Misha seems genuinely ecstatic with my response, but Shizune's expression is clouded and difficult to read. I find myself quickly averting my eyes from her own, as it's almost looked like a face of pity. No doubt it must just be my imagination. Now this is hardly the first time I've been in the student council room. Indeed, I found myself down here often, either to help Lilly with class rep work or to sort out one thing or another with the student council itself. I thought you didn't join. Why have you been helping the student council? Now though, it's quite a different place. Oh, that is one seriously up-to-date computer. Oh my god, this thing is crazy cool. Is that a floppy disk drive? That's a floppy disk drive, isn't it? There's no way that's a CD drive. That is floppy disk. CD drive's here. My god, oh man. I'm sure it has all the up-to-date games like Minesweeper and Solitaire. Oh boy. Whew. Papers and folders are strewn across every table in the room. Only a solitary little black laptop atop a single desk sticking out from the mess. It looks positively ancient, and I guess it has been valiantly serving its task in archiving information for years and years. So what needs doing? This looks like a lot to do. Shizune's expression becomes determined as she signs. It's a worrying look. Everything, Chan. My worry was well placed. Everything you said? Everything you said? What's left on the desks is what needs to be done. It all needs to be digitally recorded, which is what the laptop is for. I'm guessing that I'll be the one doing this. Chan says she saw you with the computers in the library a few days ago, and that you seemed really good with them. Good with computers? I can touch type, I guess, but it still seems like an overestimation of my skill. What's touch type? I can't do the how you're taught to type, you know, with the whole having your fingers on ASDF and whatever it is, and having your thumbs as the space bar. I don't get that. I can't do that. I do the whole just moving my fingers around the entire keyboard. I mean, I'm not a slow type. I don't just use my index finger to go. I use, sorry, I just lost my train of thought completely because I thought I could hear someone in my house, even though my door is locked. This is very strange. But yeah, I just move my fingers around and use my index finger as the spacebar. I don't know why I even brought that up. I was just typing up homework. Wait, Shizune was watching me do that? One must know their allies before they can know their enemies, of course. Wow, that's pretty wise. For once, it's not very hard to work out who said what. Nonetheless, it doesn't seem worth fighting over. Sitting at a computer doing some typing hardly seems onerous, as far as tasks help Shizune and Misha go. Besides, it will help you take your mind off things. Wait a second, how does she know about take my mind off things? Take my mind off what things? Misha's face goes blank as she translates this for Shizune, though the latter's response is only to glance away towards a window after briefly signing. Oh, she knows. She knows. Misha's face quickly returns to a smile as she translates back. I suppose she probably would know, being her cousin and all. She was confused, I guess, but Shizune is harder to pin down. I was just thinking you may like to get your mind off the exams, of course. Either way, we may as well get into it sooner rather than later. I'll go along with you. That's the spirit, Chan. And that's the 5th spreadsheet compiled and saved. Time for the next ones. After a little bit of fussing around, we all managed to get a bit more organised. Shizune's been gathering up the loose sheets and thankfully sorting them into the neat pile next to me. Meanwhile, Mish has been handling the manual writing work, her girly pink pen leaving its unmistakable mark on paper after the roll. Sounds like Owanako. Did she use pink? Or was it purple? Not too sure. It was one girly colour anyway. Once I got myself into a rhythm, this really wasn't so bad. Shizune and Mish also seem to be in the swing of things, wordlessly communicating as they go about their business with fervour. I periodically glance... Oh, that was a nice voice break. I periodically glance at the sheet beside the laptop, apparently a list of student names and matching addresses, as I dutifully enter the data written on it. I don't pay a lot of attention to what I'm typing in until I reach about midway down the page. Hakamichi Class 3-3. Her family home is Saitama. My idle curiosity is ended abruptly as 3 light taps can be heard rapping on the door. Just as those 3 light taps hit the door, I'm gonna mark that as a save point. Don't worry, there'll be another part right after this, so I don't even need to say goodbye yet.